Hey guys, what's happening? Bob Clark here. Welcome to the Daily Dose of Awesome, your 15 minutes of inspiration, motivation, and education to get your day going, to keep your day going strong, and wherever you are in the world to keep, have you make the most of your day. I am super excited to be here today. I just love the Daily Dose of Awesome. It's so much fun to come on and be with you guys. As you come on, just say, hey, let me know that you're here so I can say hi to you. Today, guys, I want to talk to you about what gurus do daily that you probably don't, okay? We all, at least when you first start especially, you probably have this, hey, Marilyn, how are you? You probably have this thing about, and I'm going to use, guys, gurus, leaders, top earners. I'm going to use those terms synonymously, okay, because we kind of do. As you're piling in here, just say hi. Awesome to see you guys. Fantastic community we have here at Elite Marketing Pro. Welcome, everybody. Welcome, visitors. It could be a quick 15 minutes. I'm going to pack a lot in, so let's buckle up. All right, so what gurus do that you probably don't? Okay, first of all, listen up, okay? I've been lucky enough to rub elbows with a lot of the top earners, so I've seen stuff that maybe you haven't, I don't know. But here's the deal, all right? Leaders are no different than you, okay? They're not. It may seem like it, but they're not. Their IQ isn't higher. They don't come from, they're not born into wealth. In fact, many of them are dirt poor before they make it in this industry. They don't have less obstacles than you. They don't have access to the secrets that we think they have. It's none of that, okay? I want you to hear me on that, okay? Gurus are not better than you. Top earners, top leaders are not better than you, okay? But they do some stuff on a regular basis that might be different, and that is a really high contributing factor to their success. And I want to give you a list of I think I got about 7 of them here, things that I've seen and I do myself that the top earners do on a regular basis that maybe you don't. So if that sounds good to you, drop a 1, and we're going to get started. Even if you don't like it, we're still going to get started. Give me some hearts, give me some likes, whatever, and we'll get going here. I love this platform because this community is so vibrant and it's so engaging that it's really fun to be here and do it. So I see a lot of 1s coming up. Awesome, awesome, awesome. Okay, here's my list. You ready? Number 1, top earners, gurus, whatever you want to call them, are ruthless about their mindset. Okay, they're ruthless about their mindset, and they have a rock solid belief in what they do. Okay. It doesn't matter where you are on the success curve. You're always going to have that little voice in your head that tells you you're no good, that you're not good enough, that what you're doing doesn't matter, that you really can't help people. Everybody has that little voice, guys, just so you know. Not just people who are struggling up the ladder. Top earners, people in the second row, the third rung, the fourth rung, everybody has that little voice. You have to work on your mindset ruthlessly to quiet that little guy or girl. Right? You just have to. I've had people tell me that mindset doesn't matter. Just show me how to do things so I can make money. And the truth is, you're not making money because your mindset sucks, right? I mean, that's really what it comes down to. So top earners are ruthless about their mindset. Number 2, top earners practice the habit of focused action. Okay? They just don't get into action indiscriminately. They take focus action and understand, right? Think of the top earners the gurus that you know, right? Pretty much to a T, they are all known for something, right? All right, Michelle Pescasito, known for Facebook ads, right? Matt Barron, Facebook, right? Chef Katrina, Pinterest, and just being an overall amazing person, but she focuses on Pinterest. Video for Kate Miche. They all focus their attention on something specific so they become known as an expert, a go-to person in something. Okay, so focused action is a key if you want to be known as an expert in something, right? An authority. You got to take focused action, and most gurus I know do that. Okay, they also, number 3, they also detach from the outcome. And this is really easier said than done. I understand, right? A lot of people have told me, well, it's easy for top earners to detach from the outcome. They already have the money. And the opposite, in actuality, the opposite again is true, right? It's because they detach from the outcome that they've made more money, right? Think of it if you're in network marketing, for example, or any marketing, if you're talking to somebody about your business, about your offer, and you come across even a little bit needy, right? A little bit like you need the sale, you need the person to sign up. What does that person do? They back away, right? They back away, either physically or just, they just do it kind of naturally. They back away because people don't respond to that. People respond to somebody who is sure of themselves, who they feel can lead them somewhere. And if you're sitting there and if you're detached to the outcome, if you live and die with each no or yes, if you live and die with that, you've lost. Right? So as hard as it might be, you've got to train yourself to detach from the outcome of the conversation. Someone says yes, fantastic, next. Someone says no, fantastic, next. Right? Detach from the outcome. All top earners do that. Number 4, they see mistakes as opportunities and not as mistakes. Okay? This will be especially hard for you guys here who have jobs. Okay? At my job, I know, and I'm sure with yours too, mistakes are to be avoided as much as possible, right? If I make a bunch of mistakes in my job, I'm going to be out, right? So we approach mistakes at a job as bad, right? As something we need to avoid. In business, and the top earners know this, mistakes are good because mistakes mean you're in action, and mistakes means that you tried and you found out just another way that didn't work. And you try again. It's an opportunity to try again. Mistakes are an opportunity to try again, knowing a little bit more about what works and what doesn't work, right? So that's a big shift from people who are down here in the trenches not getting much results to the top earners. Top earners know that mistakes are good, mistakes are opportunities. Number 5, top earners make only inner comparisons. Okay, inner comparison. You guys liking this? Is this good? It's good stuff. I think this will be helpful for a lot of people. Top earners make only inner comparisons. You guys have all heard of comparitis. I'm sure you've heard of that, where you compare yourself to other people, and that can be as paralyzing as anything out there in your journey. Comparing yourself to other people, it's a tough one. We all do it. It's natural, right? You compare yourself to the person over here who's lost more weight. You compare yourself to the person over here who has more hair, right? Compare yourself to a person on stage who's been in your company less time than you, but they're on stage. They're making it happen, and you're not. You compare yourself outside. The only comparisons that really matter, guys, is your today from your yesterdays. Are you a little bit better today than you were yesterday? And if you can say yes to that on a regular basis, you're going to win. Right? You're going to win because you're building. You're building up, 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 up. Every day you're a little bit better. And that's the direction you want to go. But the minute you start going outside of yourself and comparing yourself to John or Joe or Jill and all these people who seem to do better than you, then guess what? That little voice in your head is telling you you're no good. You're not good enough. You don't deserve this. You're not smart enough. All this stuff is going through your head, right? You should be up on stage, but you're not. You're bad. Right? That's why the top earners have learned to limit their comparisons to internally. It's such a big shift. Caroline says it's not always a straight line. No, of course not. You're going to be up here, down here, up here, down here. But in general, you want the line that you draw through the points to be going up, not flat, not down. Of course, not down, right? Totally agree with you, Caroline. Good point. Next. Top earners interrupt learning with implementation. And that this is a no-brainer, but I've seen it time and again. I was guilty of it. People learn, webinar, and you forget to practice what you've learned or try out what you learned because there's a little fear there, right? The gurus know you learn, you implement, you learn, you implement, you learn, you implement. That's the way they do it, right? That's the way they do it. And if you don't do that, if you're just a constant learner, I know a lot of people who are really smart in this industry. They've learned a lot and they're not making any money, right? Because they're not taking action. And finally, I would say that top earners focus a lot on consistency. Okay, they focus a lot on consistency. You know, people ask me a lot, how do you stand out? How have you stood out? You know, what is the secret to standing out in what's in your business? And I'll be honest with you, and there's a few answers to it, but one of the big answers is to just be consistent, to just keep being there, to keep showing up. When you do that, people will notice, because the majority of people in this industry show up, maybe they push hard for a week and they're gone for a while, right? They come back for a little while longer and they're gone for an extended period, right? And you don't get the consistency of action. I notice personally when I see people in my Facebook newsfeed and LinkedIn that are constantly posting, constantly out there doing lives, constantly taking action. I see that, right? Your prospects see that. And it's a key. Consistency is one of the biggest keys to the top earners. Now, you may not see it, right? They might be consistent behind the scenes, working on their courses, working on an event, doing this, doing that, but their actions are consistent daily. And they don't have these big ebbs and flows, these giant waves of consistency and nothing, consistency and nothing. It's level, right? It's just consistency across the board. Now, of course, okay, life happens, right? You're not always going to have this level of consistency. But in general, you strive for it. You strive to be consistent on a regular basis so that you show up, right? So that you show up. Guys, while I go on to my next thing, I want you to answer a question for me. I just listed all these things about what top earners or the gurus do daily that maybe you don't. Did you see a trend? Did you see a trend there? Put in your comments if you saw a trend in all those things I listed out. Because Eric says consistency empowering. It definitely is. Do you see a trend there? Because as I wrote this list, I looked at it, I said, wow. I didn't really kind of list it like this, but when I looked at the list of what I wrote down to tell you guys, I was like, holy cow, this hits me in the face. Do you guys see it? Do any of you guys see it? Positive thinking, yeah, that's true. But a little bit, yeah, okay, so some people are answering. Here's what I noticed, all right? And maybe you did too. Most of the points, most of the 7 points that I listed here, actions, true, yep. But most of them have to do with mindset and routine or action, right? Very little of it has to do with what kind of marketing they did. Almost none, right? Maybe one. Mindset, taking action, right? That's great news for you because you can work on your mindset and you can take action, right? You don't have to be some expert, person in such and such marketing to really get going. Work on your mindset, work on taking action, work on making mistakes, right? Work on, implementing what you learn, all that stuff. If you do just that, you will stand out and you will make money. You will get results. Okay. Let me end this here. I got some tips here. I wrote them down because I can't remember anything anymore, guys. I got 8. We talked about consistency, right? Consistency is probably the thing that people struggle with most in our profession here, because life happens. They got jobs, they got kids, they got family, they got this, they got that, and consistency is a tough thing for a lot of people. Ray Higdon is probably the most consistent guy I know on the planet, and even he has trouble once in a while with it. So here's some tips. I have 8 tips for you for being consistent. Okay, number 1 is keep your vision front and center. Okay, when you're struggling to be consistent, keep your vision in the front of your mind, right? Why are you doing this, right? What kind of person do you want to become? What's the big picture? Think of the big picture when you're struggling in the trenches on a daily basis, trying to get consistency, when you don't feel like doing it, right? When you don't feel like doing it, you don't feel well, or you're tired from work, you just want to just relax. Look at the big picture. Why are you doing this? What's your vision? And let your vision pull you into action. Okay, your vision has to be huge and it has to pull you into action. Number 2, have a solid routine. If you watched my last Daily Dose of Awesome a couple weeks ago, I talked all about DMO, routines. You might want to go back and refresh that, refresh your thinking on that. And something about routines that's helpful too is try to do things if you can at the same time each day. I know with our schedules it's often hard to do that, but if you can, if you try to work something in your day at the same time every day, it'll soon become a habit. a habit. And then not to do it seems weird. So try that. Number 3, schedule your DMO into your day, okay? Don't try to fit your DMO around your day. Try to fit your day around your DMO, okay, as much as you can. It's a subtle difference, but it's a big difference, right? So if you give your DMO, your daily method of operation, if you give that more priority in your daily schedule and try to work things around that, then you're much more likely to be consistent. Sorry. Number 4 is understand the process. Guys, somebody just said it before. It's not all a straight line up. Consistency is a constant work in progress, and you're gonna have days where you fail. And understand that, and don't beat yourself up. Just get back in and do it again the next day. Don't play guilt trip. Oh, I messed up yesterday. I didn't get anything done. Right? Don't play that game. Right? We're all human. We all have days. We all have lives. We all have things that happen. Get back in the game the next day. Pull up your bootstraps and get to work. Okay? It's as simple as that. But I see a lot of people who they beat themselves up for the day before or the 2 days before, and because of that, they don't do anything today. And I've even heard people say, oh gosh, it's Friday, I didn't do what I wanted, so Monday's a new week. Let me wait until Monday. I'll start again. Bad thinking. Okay. Whatever happened yesterday is immaterial. Today starts another day. Pull yourself up, get consistent in your action, and get to work. Okay. Understand the process. It is a process for everybody. You might want to be proactive. I've actually done this where I've listed out some of the more common obstacles that I'm likely to face in my day and how I would get around that to get my stuff done. Okay, it's kind of a proactive way to guard against some hits on your business, some hits on your consistency. It's to actually write out, okay, here are my possible obstacles, and here's what I could do to get around it. Number 6 is, and this is more of a proactive also, work with your family members, work with your friends, and to carve out some uninterrupted time. You might say to your spouse, hey, if you can watch the kids for an hour, let me get a 1 hour uninterrupted time for my business. I'll take the kids so you can go out and be with your friends or do something else, right? That's what kind of thing I'm talking about. Maybe you want to say to your friend, hey, maybe you both have kids, and you say, hey, can you watch my kids for a couple hours this afternoon, and I'll do it for you tomorrow, right? That can definitely help with your consistency. And this is a funny one. Don't be afraid to dangle the carrot. Don't be afraid to bribe both people and yourself. I know that sounds bad, but you want to reward yourself for taking action, for getting for doing what you wanted to do. You want to reward yourself. If you want that bowl of ice cream, say, if I want that bowl of ice cream, I got to do this, right? Bribe yourself. Don't be above it. It's fine. And lastly, and I got this from one of my coaches, Ray Higdon, consider this. This comes from a little bit of a fear-based standpoint, but it works, at least short-term, is consider what's the alternative, okay? If I don't do this, what's the alternative? I'm going to stay in this crappy job that I hate? Am I going to be okay with not having the money I want in retirement? That's one of my big fears, guys. One of my big fears is outliving my money in my retirement. That's one of the things that drives me. And I'm probably older than a lot of you guys. All right. If you're a little bit younger, maybe you're a dad or a mom, and you're like, what's the alternative? Not being able to pay for my kid's wedding, right? This is tough stuff, right? Get down and dirty with it. Right? Think about what are the alternatives to not being consistent. What are the alternatives for not taking action today and tomorrow and the next day? Is this the life I want for myself? Is this the life I deserve for myself? And the answer is no, of course. These are all things that can help you push through when you're inconsistent, right? When you don't feel like it, when you're just not up to par and you want to go to bed, right? Many nights I've gotten home from work, eaten dinner, I just want to go to bed. But I push because of I use all these tricks at different times, right? And one of my favorites is, what's the alternative, right? What do I want to outlive my money and have to live with my kids? Hey, that's the stuff I think about. What do you think about? What are some of the things you think about? So, guys, I hope this has been helpful for you today. This is deep stuff. Okay, this is deep stuff. This is not for the faint of heart. This is stuff if you really internalize it. Takes a lot of thought, and a lot of gumption and a lot of action to get through it. But you guys are here. I know you're a step above, right? You're a step above others, and I know you're action takers. I know you want it more than anything. So I'm really hoping that these tips have helped you today, guys. Thanks so much. I will see you in my next time here in Daily Dose of Awesome. This is an awesome chance for you to get 15 minutes of inspiration, motivation, education to really make the most out of your day. And I hope you're taking advantage of it. Have a great day, guys. I'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye.